You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers Postcast. Okay, if you would have told me that the Sixers would drop 134 points, or no, reverse that. If you would have told me that the Denver Nuggets dropped 137 points on the 76ers, I would have said the final score of that game would have been 137 to 105, something like that. I would be like, there's no way the Sixers are keeping up with the Denver Nuggets if they're dropping 137 points in a game. But yet, here we are. The Sixers had a very winnable game. And earlier in the season, maybe like a month ago, I was awarding moral victories. I didn't care if I was the first person ever to do it. I was saying it was a moral victory, and I was standing by it. I didn't care. Without Joel Embiid, without Paul George, I didn't care. You got these guys battling their butts off for you. I'm going to give them a moral victory if it so pleases me. And tonight, I was ready to give him a moral victory up until the last 53 seconds of that game. What was that? What? They battled so hard throughout this game. I was ready to chalk up an MW, a moral win. You know what I mean? And and then they just absolutely fell apart at the end of this game. And I was looking at it the first time around. I was like, that was a dumb inbounds play. That was a dumb inbounds play with about 11 seconds left, and you're down 3 points. Why not take the three? Why didn't you take the three? And then I was like, okay, hold on a second. Maybe that was just a botched execution there by the players. But they were all standing around like that was the play. That was stupid. If that was what Nick Nurse drew up, that was dumb. That was a big, fat, dumb play is what that was. To not even as much of as attempt a three when you're down 3 points. Would you actually think the better play there is to get the layup and then a Jamal Murray or a Nikola Jokic is going to miss free throws, and then you're getting an opportunity to win it again? You think that's the play? Oh, and you're going to come back down the other end with 3 seconds left. And that's the one where you're going to be like, hey, look at us. We're going to win the game right here. No, that worked out about as well as I thought it would with Guerschon Yabusele, who had a career high. I don't want to say anything negative about Guerschon Yabusele. The guy's busted his butt to even put this team in a chance to win a game. 28 points career high, good for him. But that's not the play I want at the end of a game. I don't want Guerschon Yabusele to have to dribble the full length of the court and then try to heave up a three, which wasn't even a prayer. They fought so hard for 47 minutes, and then I would have to think it was on Nick Nurse for just a horrible inbounds decision with 11 seconds left in the game, down 3 points, not even attempt a three. Now, is it all on Nick Nurse? No, absolutely it's not on Nick Nurse. Tyrese Maxey got you 42 points. That was incredible. There was a shot that he had with about 1:30 left in the game, I think it was, where he came down the court and let one rip from about the foul line extended from the perimeter. That would have just been an absolute beauty. 1 minute, 14 seconds left in the game. Sixers are up 1 point. He has an opportunity to put them up 4. He has about 10, 11 seconds left on the shot clock. He lets it rip and clank off the back of the rim. The place would have went berserk. The Wells Fargo Center, the roof would have been blown off the place with how the electric it would have been over there. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. And then there were some other plays there that I thought every time the Sixers would make a mistake, they would correct it. The Nuggets would capitalize on it, and then the Sixers would come down the other end and then make it a game again. Like there was no point where you felt like this was just, that was it, where it was over. You just felt like the Sixers had a chance up until, 11 seconds left. And then that was just BANAS banana sandwich. Welcome into the show once again. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Also, your favorite podcast now is a newsletter introducing Locked On 76ers daily newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On 76ers newsletter. This particular episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Super Bowl 59, a week from Sunday. And there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. Download the app and head to FanDuel.com to get started. All right, I know I rattled off a bunch of things there at the start, but either way, let's start it out again with three big things. This is my number one thing. And I know that there's a game that happened tonight, but I went into this game with a bad attitude. Okay, I was feeling better. If you guys have been watching the show over the last couple of games, you know I was battling the flu. I feel a lot better now. I'd say I'm about the 90, 95% right now, But I was feeling better from that, but feeling worse that Tyrese Maxey is not going to be in the All-Star game. So I expected Tyrese Maxey to go out tonight and ball out. Sure enough, what did he do? Yet again, as he's been doing for the entire month of January. And here, on our last day of January, he puts out another 40-point performance, his second this week. What? Yeah, that's what he did. I thought he'd have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And I thought in the last week or so, he understood, like, I got to really put it together here if I'm going to make the All-Star team again. I don't think he was taking anything for granted, and nor should he. And he put together a month where now I believe he's still just maybe this put him over. Maybe this put him right at 30 points per game. I think he was at 29.1 points per game coming into tonight in the month of January, which has been his best month. And he has been every ounce of a leader that this team needs him to be. He has been the guy that has stepped up this entire month. Really, over the last week or two, that's really when he has taken that step forward. But without the big free agent signing of Paul George being readily available, without Joel Embiid playing basketball really hardly ever this season, Tyrese Maxey has been the only one keeping the Sixers within at least a little bit of an arm's reach of the play-in tournament. And this guy not an top 6 scorer in the league, not an all-star? Really? The league, not the conference, ladies and gentlemen. Not an all-star. So seeing Tyrese Maxey come out there tonight and do exactly what he did, that was a thing of beauty. Excuse me. Up until the later stages of this game, all in all, that's when everything fell apart. And I don't put that on Tyrese Maxey even a little bit. But you went with the starting 5 today of Maxey, Gordon, Oubre, Edwards again, and Guerschon Yabusele. Maxey came out, turned the ball over 3 times right out of the gate, and that was about the biggest run of the night for the Nuggets. They opened things up with a 14-6 lead. The weird thing about this game from that point on, it felt like no team really had a huge run. Like if the ESPN box score used to contain the run, like who had the largest run of the night or what the team's largest run of the night was, it still has the largest lead of the night, but it doesn't have the largest run of the night. I'd be shocked if the largest run for either team was more than 8 points. I would say it was around 6. The Sixers had an 8-2 run, I believe it was, in that fourth quarter when they were really trying to get back into this ball game, and they ended up taking the lead. But unfortunately, they weren't able to hold on to that lead, as we know now. But as the game went on, looking at the largest lead for the Nuggets, it was 9. The Sixers' largest lead was 3. Like this unfortunately was not a big game when it came to having huge runs tonight. Basketball being a game of runs, that did not apply tonight. But Tyrese Maxey certainly led the charge for the Sixers. Kelly Oubre did himself a hell of a job. And guy that I'm going to put number 2 on this list, by the way, is Guerschon Yabusele. 28 points, the career high for him. He's in the last 2 games, he's been asked to go up against Domantas Sabonis and Nikola Jokic. Now, obviously, there's a big gap between those two, but still 2 of the better centers in the NBA, and one, 3-time MVP, and not to mention an NBA champion, and Nikola Jokic. And this guy's held his own. Joker in the fourth quarter went off. 14 points in the fourth quarter. He almost had a triple-double. I think it was 1 assist shy of the triple-double tonight, or 1 rebound shy, rather, of the triple-double tonight. And he just went out there, and Joker, for the most part, when he needed to dominate, he dominated. But Guerschon Yabusele, through 4 quarters tonight, showed you the basketball player that he can be. And we've known that this is there in Guerschon throughout the season. We've seen him improve. We've seen him get more comfortable being back at the NBA level. But what I love about this guy is that he doesn't shy away from anybody. I know anytime I bring him up, I always talk about how I don't want to see him moved. I don't want to see him traded. And every time he does something in a game, I feel like the home broadcast is always talking about, no matter how long he's here, we really appreciate him. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate him so much. Like, I want him to stick around. Like, Andre Drummond gets healthy. Is he going to stay healthy for the rest of the year? you're going to need somebody that you can at least trust. You're going to need somebody that you at least know has a chemistry already with the guys on your squad. And that's him. I don't know what you're going to get back in return. You think you're going to get a late first-round pick for him? Think you're going to get a couple second-rounders for him? What's the best you think you're going to get for Guerschon Yabusele? And also, are the Sixers really in sell mode right now? Because they didn't spend money on Paul George. They didn't extend, Joel Embiid another 5 years. Good God. They didn't extend him to be like, maybe we'll win down the line. No, they're trying to win now. So if they move Guerschon for picks, that ain't going to make me feel too good. And unlike a lot of people, I'm not giving up hope on the season yet because I've already given up hope on so much that has gone on with the Sixers over the last really decade. I'll go decade. All right. And I'm if you're going to punt. Don't half-ass a punt. And if trading Guerschon Yabusele would be a red flag to me. And I wouldn't want the Sixers to do it. Hey, look, if you're going to get somebody to overpay drastically for him, well, then let's have a conversation. I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening given the market. But again, another great performance for him tonight. 28 points, 7 rebounds for him, 3 steals, 2 assists, only 1 turnover on the night. 36 minutes logged for Guerschon Yabusele. So Tyrese Maxey, number 1. Guerschon Yabusele, number 2. Number 3. What the hell was Nick Nurse doing? I'm usually the last person to call out the coach in pretty much any sport because up to players to execute. Players are on there, trying to make things happen for themselves. If they fail, I believe it's on them most times. But I truly believe that Nick Nurse made the decision to only get 2 on the inbounds play after they called their final timeout. Nikola Jokic hit a driving layup over Kelly Oubre where he thought he got fouled. It put the Nuggets up 3. They go down the other end. They're inbounding with about 11 seconds left in the game. And I'll walk you through the whole process here in the fourth quarter. So they inbound the ball. It ends up in the hands of Kelly Oubre. Oubre has Joker on him. Oubre takes a step. He looks like he wants to take a step back 3. And he had room to do it over Joker. The hesitation led me to believe that the play call was to get 2. Let's just get 2 here and then foul, and then we come back down. The fact that he had that step back there and passed up on it, then drove the lane. The ball, I think, ended up in Guerschon Yabusele's hands. It did. He ended up missing the reversed weird layup that he tried. Kelly Oubre is right there for the putback, gets the putback. There was contact by Joker. No foul was called, so it would have been an end 1 situation. That would have been the 3-point play, and they didn't get it. They inbound the ball to Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray ends up catching it and getting fouled and going down the other end, where, shockingly, he made both free throws. So now it's 137-134. You're down 3 all over again. Great plan, Nick. You're out of timeouts. Guerschon Yabusele gets the ball on the inbounds and throws up a prayer from about 45 feet out. How that ball doesn't get in the hands of Tyrese Maxey is beyond me. That's the only person I want to see with the ball in his hand. On the 11-second play that they decided to go for 2 for some dumb reason, I thought, okay, Maxey's going to get the ball here. And I said the only other person that might get the ball here is Eric Gordon, who has been shooting really well, especially in that game, especially in the fourth quarter. Hit a couple of deep threes to really help the Sixers out. He might get the ball. The only other person maybe with 3 seconds left on that inbounds play, when they got to go to the length of the court anyway, then I want to see with the ball in the hands. If it's Tyrese Maxey to bring it up and then a quick dish to Gordon, which you're really not going to have that much time for anyway, it's either in Eric Gordon's hands or Tyrese Maxey. Guerschon Yabusele, really shouldn't need it in his hands. It looked like he looked Maxey's way and didn't want to risk the turnover, and he just hoisted it. And he looked like he shot-putted that thing 35 or 45 feet. Not the greatest of coaching displays there at the end of the game for Nick Nurse. Again, I'll see what he says afterwards. To me, it was clear, especially after seeing it a couple more times, it was clear that he was going for 2, despite being down 3. You already know you're limited. You used your last timeout. Going for 2 is stupid. That's what it is. It's dumb. It's really dumb. And that's what the Sixers did. And again, what really sucks about the whole thing is that they played so well throughout this game. And the Nuggets were the better team. They proved why they're a better team. They proved why they're now 10 games over 500, and the Sixers are struggling to stay, within 9 games of 500. Ugh. It was rough. When we come back, we'll continue to focus more on Tyrese Maxey and just things that he is doing over the last 2 weeks that shows a great maturity with this player. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Back after this. Hey, let me tell you about TurboTax. Season's just around the corner. This message is from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes, they're waiting, wondering, worrying if you were going to get any money back. That's what tax season's all about. And then waiting, wondering, and worrying some more, and then waiting, wondering, worrying some more, and it just goes on and on and on. Now, Taxes is matching with TurboTax Expert, who can they'll match you with the TurboTax Expert, who can do your taxes as soon as today. An expert who gives your taxes their undivided attention as they work on your return, while you get real-time updates on their progress as they're working on your file, so you can focus on your day. An expert who will find every deduction possible, file every form, every investment, everything with 100% accuracy. And all this so you get the most money back, guaranteed. No waiting, no wondering, no worries. Now this is Taxes. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. That's TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live, full service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. Also, see guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. That's TurboTax.com/guarantees. One of the things I'm really enjoying about the 76ers this year, believe it or not, despite the year's pretty terrible, one of the things I'm really enjoying about the Sixers this year is the fact that Tyrese Maxey continues to fight for this team. And that is something that I'm not taking lightly throughout the season. And if you look at the score, the box score for him tonight, we haven't been going over this. Usually I like to do this in the opening segment. But Tyrese Maxey tonight, 42 points, 9 assists, 2 steals on the night. 5 turnovers is rough. But as I always tell you guys, if you look at the turnover leaders in the NBA, some of them are the best players in the NBA. They have the ball in their hands a lot. There's going to be turnovers, unfortunately. Maxey, most of these turnovers, 3 of these turnovers actually came in the first 2 minutes of the game. So the rest of the way, just 2 is pretty damn good. But 39 minutes logged tonight, 42 points, 6 of 11 from beyond the arc, 15 to 26. I made the call 2 weeks ago about Tyrese Maxey being more efficient with his scoring, more efficient with his shooting. 15 to 26 for 42 points, not too shabby. Also, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Look, you're not always going to be perfect, unfortunately, like he was the last couple of nights. But Tyrese Maxey has, without question, taken on this new role with this team over the last 2 weeks. Now, it's been the same role since the season started. Like, he knew the deal with Joel Embiid. He pretty much knew what the deal was going to be with Paul George coming out of training camp, considering the hyperextension, knowing the age of the player, the injury history of the player. You have to understand that this is more often than not going to be your team, Tyrese. Excuse me. And I feel like over the last 2 weeks, he has taken that more seriously. And maybe it was the instinct, the idea. Oh, wow. It was so great to make an all-star team this year. I might not make it this year. And part of me, don't get me wrong, most of me is still in the mindset of how the hell does a guy who's top 6 in scoring get snubbed for Tyler Hero? Okay. That's really where I'm at. But part of me is looking at it as, if you told me Joel Embiid was out, and you told me Paul George was out, and you told me these guys were only playing together for 10 games this year, I would expect Tyrese Maxey's numbers to be closer to 30 points per game. I would expect him to be playing a lot more like he has played throughout this entire month of January. And that hasn't been the case. 24 points, 25 points, that ain't it. But the guy that's played this month, in the month of January, there is no question that guy's the all-star. And I'll do you one better. That guy's not only just the all-star, this guy's the leader on the team no matter what. Because let's just say in the perfect world that Joel Embiid does feel good. And, let's say at the end of February, let's say he's ready to start really making an effort at the end of February, March is going to be his month. Well, Tyrese Maxey is still going to be the guy that they lean on, even if Joel Embiid is cleared to play. Even if Paul George comes back. Tyrese Maxey's become the number one guy. Now, the only chance I really truly believe of the Sixers actually winning a championship, stay with me, is if Joel Embiid does come back, he is healthy, and he makes it through the playoffs. But we all know, as I say it almost every show now, there's no bigger if in sports than if Joel Embiid stays healthy. So we ain't betting on it, all right? But when it comes to Tyrese Maxey, I get the sense, listening to what he has said post-game during his media sessions, individual interviews on the court, and just watching him play. That's the biggest thing, just watching him play. He has taken on this new attitude of, almost my ball or nobody's ball attitude. I'm the guy that's going to hit the shot. I'm the guy that's going to make the play. And if I'm not going to make the play, I'm going to set up my teammates so they're making a play. And I love seeing that from Tyrese Maxey. That's the chip on the shoulder that you want on a guy like Tyrese. Him not making an all-star team, look, I'm in no way saying that's a good thing. But if you're looking for a silver lining, maybe he plays the rest of the season with a little bit more of an edge. I don't think he needs much more of an edge. I think he plays with an edge anyway. But, hey, little extra added, motivation couldn't hurt anybody. There's one more player that I want to praise tonight. The only person that I'm really upset with tonight is Nick Nurse. Like everybody else is playing at capacity. The bench could have been better, but the guy I'm going to talk about actually led the bench tonight, which was good. Justin Edwards had a couple of nice threes in the early goings of this game. Had a great play in that third quarter on that alley-oop to Guerschon Yabusele, where he spun around Russell Wilson and Russell Westbrook, excuse me. Russell Wilson's playing in the NBA now. Russell Westbrook spun around him. Westbrook was looking for the foul. Toughen up, Buttercup. And, Justin Edwards hit a couple of threes tonight. 3 threes. That's all he got, all 9 of his points, through threes. But one player in particular, again, another solid game for him in terms of what you're asking him to do in the limited time that he's out there on the floor. We'll talk about him when we return. We'll also take your comments. I'll check out the YouTube channel comment section, see how you guys are doing after this loss. Thanks for watching. What am I doing? I'm ending the show. I'm not ending the show. When we come back, I'll check your comments. That's what I'll do. That's when we return here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. FanDuel. You heard me talking about FanDuel earlier in the show. FanDuel's fantastic. Super Bowl 59 is here. 1 game, 2 teams, endless possibilities, and there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether it's predicting the first touchdown, calling the MVP, or even betting on the coin toss, FanDuel makes it easy to get in all the action. With live betting all game long, you can adjust your bets as long as the game unfolds. And as the game unfolds, you can adjust your bets and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. Live betting features let you stay involved no matter what happens on the field, and the app is super easy to navigate. Plus, knowing you can place a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets from the Super Bowl, that's the icing on the cake, babe. You know what I'm saying? Icing on the cake. And how about these odds right now? You could get in on this. Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP, if you're from Philly, plus 110. Saquon Barkley, plus 280. Jalen Hurts, plus 370. Travis Kelce, plus 1,800. A.J. Brown, by the way, plus 3,200. How about that? Eagles and Chiefs right now. Chiefs still favored by 1.5 with the over-under looking at 48.5. That's the way it's looking right now on FanDuel. Download the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Bet just $5. If you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That's $200 in bonus bets on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59. There we go. I actually managed to mute my mic when I coughed this time. Welcome back. Mark Farzetta here. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Locked On 76ers postcast. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. I'll have you covered for the rest of the Sixers season and then into Phillies season. And also, don't miss Jason Martinez and Harry Mays. Got you all covered for Eagles postcast right here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. So don't you miss that there. Ricky Council. I got to say, I go through these moments with Ricky Council IV. Ricky Council tonight. There are moments where I'm like, that's not your shot, dude. That's not your shot. Like, not meaning like he can't make the shot, but at the point in the game, I don't want him taking that shot. And every time he does that, there's something else that happens. And there was one particular instance, and it was in that third quarter, excuse me, where he ended up coming up, or excuse me, beginning of the fourth quarter, really. He came up with a steal and put it out to Kelly Oubre for the layup. That made it a 105-105 game at the start of the fourth quarter. He hit a three at the buzzer just before the fourth quarter started. So at the end of the third quarter, he hit the buzzer beater. Had a great driving layup that he missed. Yabu got a rebound. Maxey missed the three. Reggie got a rebound. Then Council missed the three. I thought in that instance, that's not your spot to shoot the three. Then ended up being 20 seconds later, he gets the ball again, knocks down the three. I go from these moments with him where I'm like, that's not for you. And then he's the last man standing, and he knocks it down. When he started the fourth quarter, he got the steal, and that was the outlet to Oubre, who got the lay-in. That was 105-105. Then Council got another steal, passed it ahead to Lowry, who found a Dembona for the dunk. That was their first lead. It was 107-105 Sixers with about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left in the regulation. And that was all started by Council. He's not doing much, but when you're looking at a bench, for instance, where, let's see, a Dembona, that was his only bucket, that play I just referenced. Kyle Lowry hit a three today. Didn't build off his game from the other night, unfortunately, which I was really hoping he would. And then Reggie Jackson he gets a little jumper. A little jumper tonight. I think a little 9-foot baseline jumper. Those are his 2 points. So your bench scored 15 points. 10 of them came courtesy of Ricky Council IV, who, as I've said for the last couple of shows, has been challenged here by Nick Nurse to come off the bench with Justin Edwards getting put in the starting lineup all of a sudden. Just like that. Justin Edwards, 6'7", and I believe Ricky Council's in there at 6'6". I think that's what he's there. 6 foot. Yeah, 6'6". So they're battling for minutes, these guys. Let's get into the chat check and see how you guys are doing on this fine Friday morning. BC again with the Go Lakers. BC with LeBron. You know you guys lost, right? You guys lost to this team. Just Tyrese Maxey. Bronny in the NBA is bad. Very bad. Like if you were to line up a bunch of NBA players, and one of them, of course, was Bronny, and you were to say, all right, pick out the guy who got this job because of his dad, and I didn't know who anybody was, I'd be like, that guy right there, that dude. What's his name? Bronny? Bronny? Like LeBron? Really? Yeah, that's definitely the guy that's playing because of his dad. That's what he looks like. He looks like my dad used to play in a beer league softball when I was a kid, and I was the bat boy, right? And I was like in first to second grade, like way too young where I should be allowed to set foot on a beer league softball diamond, And I remember just like the young kids, whatever, like sign up the fresh out of college kids that thought they were all that, and then these like men would just crush them. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Bronny is like playing in his dad league. Basically literally his dad's league. He just looks like a little kid out there. Like, you don't belong here. Get out of here. It's like cute that you could play and stuff. It's adorable that you could play, Bronny. I mean, by can play, like you could dribble, you could run, but like skill, no. So that's pretty terrible. Asia Robertson, BC. Elliot, no such thing as a moral victory, but that being said, the Sixers balled out tonight. They gave good effort and played really hard. In a season like this, I'll take it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't care. I'll give out the moral victories. But I only believe in moral victories if the team is expected to do nothing. Flyers are trying to build their team. I'll take a moral victory here and there. In the grand scheme of things, if your team is ready to, like the Eagles, I can never take a moral victory for the Eagles. I'll take a moral loss to the Eagles, like a win, but it feels like you should have lost. It's the only thing I believe in football is a moral loss. I think I coined that term, which just means it's dumb. Anyway, I couldn't award moral victories if I thought they actually mattered. Taxman cometh, Ari. That's what. Go. Hey, happy birthday, Ari. Happy birthday, officially. Ari, I'm taking the over on this Super Bowl, 27-24 Birds. Go Birds, hon. Love it. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful. As per usual, feel free to go ahead and wish it's Ari's birthday. Happy 30th, Ari, I believe, right? Yeah. Happy birthday, Ari. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Sixers, guess what? It doesn't get any easier. After this loss tonight, 137-134 to the Denver Nuggets. Sixers now on Sunday, I believe 6 o'clock tip-off. They got the Boston Celtics. Yes, they do. 6 o'clock tip-off, South Philly, Boston Celtics 34-15 on the season. Sixers down 19-28 on the year. Celtics actually did the Sixers a favor in beating the Chicago Bulls 2 nights ago, and the Sixers were able to take advantage of it then, and not so much now. And looking at those standings in the Eastern Conference, the Bulls, did they even play tonight? They had to have played because the Sixers are full game back. They played the Raptors. They won 122-106. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So the Sixers are now a full game behind the Bulls for that 10th play-in spot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, Locked On 76ers Postcast. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Thanks very much. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Go Birds. All right, see you later. Bye.